Bim, 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 bam. Yay, day, 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 bim, bam, bim, 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 bam. Bim, 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 bam. You do not need to sing on the tone that I sang.
That's fine. I did it already, even if you told me not to. Beam, 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 bam. Beam, 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 beam,
Bim, bam.
beam, 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 bam.
Bim, 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom,
Shabbat, 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 Shabbat,
Shabbat,
Shabbat,
Shabbat, Shabbat,
Shabbat,
shalom,
Shabbat,
Shabbat
Shalom,
shalom,
Shabbat,
Shabbat, Shabbat,
Shabbat,
Shabbat, Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Beam, 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 bam. Beam, 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 bam.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Please join me on page 463 because it looks like we're all just family and I don't need to show you the emergency exits. Page 463, when justice burns. When justice burns within us like a flaming fire, when love evokes willing sacrifice from us, when to the last full measure of selfless devotion, we demonstrate our belief in the ultimate triumph of truth and righteousness, then goodness enters our lives and we begin to change the world. This is a little meditative bim 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 from the kids' room still. Welcome to this Shabbat. It is Shabbat Mishpatim. It is the last Shabbat before the month of Adar begins. There's a very famous saying about the month of Adar. It goes like this: Nichnas Adar marbim besimcha. Rachel, if you're looking for Ellie, I hear voices still from the kids section. I'm wondering maybe she's there. Which literally means when the month of Adar enters, we are obliged, it is a mitzvah to be happy. Which is a strange thing because none of us, likes to be happy, if you push the button. But also, maybe we can think about it as a kind of exercise to make space for joy and happiness, even and maybe especially if we do not feel like it at all. So this service today is a little bit of an attempt, a very humble one, to make space for joy and to make space for all the rest of life that is happening. We are today making space also for one of our members and friends to step into a new role. Katja has, I think, since October, she has been taking a class in how to become a prayer leader through the community of small congregations. And some of you know this, about 2 weeks ago or so, she was supposed to lead her first section of the service, but then there was a snowstorm and there was only a Zoom service, so she did not get to practice what we really wanted to do, and that is to give her a space on this bima, take a deep breath, and learn how to lead this community in prayer. So this is what we're going to do now. We're going to start on page 135, and it is our honor to welcome you to this bima, Katja, in this new role.
Before we get started tonight, I just wanted to take a moment and offer a reflection. Maybe invite you all to think about who are the people who brought you here. And that could be the people who you drove with here tonight, or the people next to you on the couch if you're on Zoom. That could be whoever introduced you to Beth Shalom, or the person who brought you to Judaism, helped you stay engaged in Judaism. Who is that person or that people for you? And maybe dedicate a piece of tonight to holding that person and bringing them along with you as you sing and pray and reach out to God. We're on page 135. Omeimu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Omeimu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. Omeimu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Omeimu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. 136. Mizmor leDavid, Havul Adonai b'nehelim, Havul Adonai, Kavod v'hoz, yay, Havul Adonai kevod shemo, Yishtachavu l'Adonai b'hadrat kodesh, Kol Adonai al hamayim, Bel hakavod hirim, Adonai al mayim rabim, Kol Adonai ba'koach, Yainai Kol Adonai behadar, Kol Adonai shover arazim, Vayesheber Adonai et arze halvanon, Vayarkidem kemo egel Levanon, Vesirion, Kemo venremim, Yainai Kol Adonai chotzev lahaveotesh, Kol Adonai yachil midbar, Yachil Adonai midbar kadesh, Kol Adonai yacholel ayalot, Vayechesov Yearot, Uvehechalo kulo homer kavod, Yay, Adonai, Lamabul Yashava Yeshev Adonai Malech Leholam, Adonai Oz, לעמו ייתן אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. להדודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. להדודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. להדודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. להדודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. להדודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. להדודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה. מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. להדודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. להדודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. להדודי לקראת כלה, ירדי ירדי ירדי, פני שבת נקבלה. להדודי לקראת כלה, ירדי ירדי ירדי, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי. אורי אורי שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. להדודי לקראת כלה, ירדי ירדי ירדי, פני שבת נקבלה. להדודי לקראת כלה, ירדי ירדי ירדי, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום, עצרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצוהלה. תוך אמונה עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. And as we give thanks to God, Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Ulzamer, ulzamer, leshimcha elyon, tov lehodot l'Adonai. I'll pass you back to Sonia.
Ahavat olam, ahavat olam, ahavat olam, avtanu, ahavat olam, ahavat olam. Ahavat olam avtanu, 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 Adonai. deeply you have loved us. How deeply you have loved us. Adonai Eloheinu. How deeply you have loved us. How deeply you have loved us. How deeply you have loved us. Adonai Eloheinu. Ahavat olam. Ahavat olam. Ahavat olam. Ahavtanu. 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 Adonai Eloheinu. Adonai Micha Mokanei Adarba Kodesh Nora Tahilo Do Sefele Nora Tahilo Do Sefele Malchutecha Harau Venecha Bokei Ayam Lifnei Moshe Ze'elianu Ve'amru Ze'elianu Ve'ameru Adonai Imlok Leolam Vayed Adonai Imlok Leolam Vayed Yai Dai Dai Yai Dai 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 Yai Dai 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 Yai Dai 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 Yai Dai 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 Yai Dai Dai Yai Dai Veshomeru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam barita olam Yai dai beini uvein b'nei Israel oti leolam ki sheishat yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim vayet haaretz uvayom hashvi Shavat bayinafash.
Now it is on. Good thing, I wasn't the lead singer. So, okay. So, also, I don't feel great. So, it came in just so handy that you were here, and you were here, and you were here anyways. Thank you. I don't feel so great. I think I'm getting maybe a little sick, but also I just didn't sleep that much this week because many hours during the nights of this week, I just stared at the picture that you see on the bima. And even during the day, I sometimes sat in the sanctuary and stared at the picture on that bima. And when you read a lot of news and you write a lot of poems and you watch a lot of videos and look at art that seems to outpour of so many people and you cry a lot, then in the end you feel a little bad. And this is what happened to me. And I know it's happened to many of you here and in your home. It is Parashat Mishpatim. Parashat Mishpatim is part of the holiness code, which is part of the narrative of Revelation. We are on Mount Sinai, and I'm saying on or not next to, because initially we were right next to it, one by one, in a process that seems to have taken much more time than we usually realize. God's laws are revealed into the world and to the Israelites so that they would have a roadmap to a future of justice and prosperity and peace. And towards the end of this parsha, Moses, Aaron, his two eldest sons, Nadav and Avihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel actually ascend Mount Sinai in order to have a meal with God. And we read there that they sit and eat with God, that they see God's face, that they look straight at a throne of light blue sapphire. And that then Moses ascends on his own even further for the following 40 days of seclusion. This meal of Moses and Aaron, his two older sons, and the elders doesn't fit at all in our usual Jewish theology that always says that God doesn't have a face and no body, and that no human being is allowed to see God face to face. Instead, that scene on the mountain is a scene of peacefulness. It's like a family meal. There's beauty in its simplicity. It feels intimate. It's a moment of connection between God and God's people or its representations. It's awesome, but it's also just still and quiet. And then in a couple of weeks only, we will read within 2 sentences that God is going to kill those 2 Aaron's oldest sons, Nadav and Avihu. That same God who just had dinner with them. And we read Vayidom Aharon, and Aaron was silent. It's the silence of a father whose sons were killed by the wrath and brutality that doesn't know any adequate response. Aaron stays silent as his trust in God is disappointed. He stays silent as he loses some of the people most beloved to him. He is isolating himself in his pain, not only from Moses, but from God. There is such loneliness in his silent suffering. In just a little bit, we're going to say Kaddish for Ariel and Kfir, the children of Yarden, who was able to return home last week, and their mother Shiri, for whose body we still might be waiting. Ariel and Kfir were 4 years and 9 months old, respectively, when they were abducted from Kibbutz Nir Oz on October 7, 2023. And they were 4 years and 10 months old, respectively, when they were murdered by bare hands in the Gaza Strip in November 2023. And since then, every Jew in this world has come to know their faces and maybe especially their hair. We waited for them like we could only wait for a baby and his 4-year-old brother. But also we waited for them because we all wanted to believe that somehow hope was still an option, that many will survive, that there will be a diplomatic solution, that negotiations and maybe even conversations will be possible, and that maybe there might be peace again, maybe even soon, or at least one day. It's hard to imagine any of this right now. Over and over again, we are reminded that we are indeed staring into a total abyss. Those children were not the only children. There were so many deaths of children, adults, and elderly in the most brutal way imaginable, and maybe even worse. And these deaths scream to us. Their faces and their names will forever echo in the silence that creeps not only in our conversations, but maybe also into our thoughts. It's hard to find words in the face of unspeakable horror. What even is there to say? And so, Vayidom ha'am, and the people fall silent. The peace activists who have fought their entire lives for hope and solution, most of them are silent these days. The people who believed in bridge building and neighborly relations, most of them have no words. I looked for a long time at one of the pictures of the ceremony with which Hamas handed over the 4 coffins. I looked at the Hamas fighters in uniforms and carrying guns. Most of their faces were completely unintelligible, but I found a face with eyes and even the contours of a face under a piece of thin textile. And after having looked at that guy for quite some time, I realized something. The person I was looking at was 16, maybe 17, maximum 18 years old. This is a teenager, and I don't know at all what to do with this fact. But this year, as I was reading about the scene of Aaron, Nadav, and Avihu close to God in this moment of peacefulness, knowing their ending. I asked myself, and I really don't know why, for the first time, if they had a mother. And of course they had a mother. Aaron wasn't a single dad. His wife's name was Elisheva, and her full title is Aaron's wife, mother of Nadav, Avihu, Itamar, and Elazar, sister of Nachshon, for those of you who remember the guy who waded in the water, and daughter of Aminadav from the royal tribe of Judah. This is what was written about Elisheva. The Talmud raises an objection. Elisheva, the daughter of Aminadav and the wife of Aaron, had 5 reasons for joy on the day that the tabernacle was dedicated. Her brother-in-law Moses was a king. Her husband Aaron was the high priest. Her son Elazar was the deputy high priest. Her son's son Pinchas was the priest anointed for war, who would lead the army out to battle, and her brother Nachshon, son of Aminadav, was the prince of the tribe of Judah, who brought his offering on that day as the first of all the princes. But on the very same day of joy, she was in mourning for her 2 sons, Nadav and Avihu, who euphemistically died on that day. I have been thinking about this mother for the last days. A mother who lost, different than Yarden, 2 of altogether 4 children, lives on with a broken heart, but lives on for the sake of her remaining children. Her joy will never be pure joy again, but always be mixed with sadness. Her sadness will come in waves, because sadness always comes in waves. But in between the waves, there will be moments of joy, even pride, even lightheartedness. Elisheva, her name means God is my oath. What can we learn from this? I want to share something with you that maybe sounds a little funny and a little stupid. But on Thursday, what I really wanted to do was to get a tattoo. I know the tattoo store in Belgrade because I need a new nose piercing. And I really wanted to go to Belgrade and get a tattoo of these 3 names: Shiri, Ariel, and Kfir. I did not. Partially because I'm really worried about the tattoo artists in Belgrade. I think, and not in general, but the Hebrew letters, I've seen many strange things. I don't want that. But also because it is not kosher, right? And then thirdly, because I realized one thing. I never got any other tattoos. And I probably won't ever get any other tattoos. So by having a tattoo of those 3 names, I would make these 3 names into the most important thing on my body. And I didn't quite want to do that. I stopped myself because I can't have this to be true. This cannot be the most important moment of my life. Even maybe if it feels like this at times. Elisheva means God is my oath, and no one else is. God is my oath. Sometimes when I don't speak, when I don't find words, or when the words that would come would bring more harm than good, I stay silent because I'm wordless. I'm clueless, and I'm just right now in too much pain. I need to wait for the pain to shrink, even just a bit, so that I can breathe again and think about the impact of my words for others and myself. God is my oath. Sometimes I cannot imagine a tomorrow, what it would even look like, what we should do, what I should do. My sight is obscured by the fog of pain, of loss, of grief, and also of sheer horror. I cannot see. Then I must wait for the fog to lift. I focus on what I know is good and true. I focus on God, and I stay in my blind silence until the veil is lifted and I can see again. Many of us, maybe all of us, are mourners these days. Many of us check the news every 5 minutes, and it's bizarre. We're hurting, but we're saying the prayers, we say the words, we raise our voices to sing. We will wait for the pain to come in waves, and then in between the waves, we will make sure that our oath is to God and not to the pain. Please join me on page, what happened? Oh, okay. Okay. Please join me on page 582, El Maleh Rachamim. El Maleh Rachamim, Shochen Bamomim, Amtzeh Menucha Nechona, תחת כנפי השכינה, עם גירושים וטהורים, כזוהר רקיע מזהירים, לנשמת יקירנו, אריאל וכפיר, שהלכו לעולמם. בעל הרחמים יסתירם בסתר כנפיו לעולמים, ויצרור בצרור החיים את נשמתם. אדוני הוא נחלתם, וינוחו בשלום על משכבם, ונאמר Page 583. In the rising of the sun and its going down, we remember them. In the blowing of the wind and the chill of winter, we remember them. In the opening of buds and in the rebirth of spring, we remember them. In the blueness of the sky and the warmth of summer, we remember them. In the rustling of the leaves and the beauty of autumn, we remember them. In the beginning of the year and when it ends, we remember them. When we're weary and in need of strength, we remember them. When we're lost and sick at heart, we remember them. When we have joys we can yearn to share, we remember them. So long as they live, we too shall live, for they are now a part of us as we remember them. Page 164, please rise if you're able for the silent Amidah. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agitei latecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. And whenever you're ready, take a seat. 180.
Oh, say shalom, bim roma, huya say shalom, aleinu. Oh, say shalom, bim roma, huya say shalom, aleinu. Ve'al kol Israel, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru, v'imru, amen.
Please join me on page 606. There's a psalm we only read on Shabbat, usually after dinner, but I want to read it now. In English, page 606, Psalm 126. A song of ascents. When Adonai restores the fortunes of Zion, we see it as in a dream. Our mouths shall be filled with laughter, our tongues with songs of joy. Then shall they say among the nations, Adonai has done great things for them. Adonai will do great things for us, and we shall rejoice. Restore our fortunes, Adonai, like water courses in the Negev. They who sow in tears shall reap with songs of joy. Those who go forth weeping, carrying the seed bag, shall come back with songs of joy, carrying their sheaves. Page 371. And Mishaberach today, not only for the members of this community, but for all the people globally who are hurting, who don't have words, who don't know what to think, who try to take a breath before they burst into screaming. and are able to just sit and be in pain for this one wave.
Mi sheberak avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi sheberak imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
And before we're going to say Kaddish, God bless you, on page 589, I want to 98. I want to share not only the names of Kfir and Ariel, but also of Oded Lifshitz, that elderly man who was a peace activist, who was murdered in captivity. I want to share about him that it was his wife, whom we all saw in November 2023 wearing a pink nightgown, coming out of captivity, shaking the hand of one of the Hamas fighters accompanying her and wishing him shalom when she left. That was the kind of person that he was. He was one of the people who dedicated his time to drive sick Palestinians from the Gaza Strip to hospitals in Israel to get treatment, because frankly, the medical situation in Gaza was a disaster even before the war, and many of the Gazans could only get adequate treatment for people like Oded. And Oded's Hebrew name is Oded ben Bilha, which I only discovered today, which is a very amazing thing, because Bilha is one of the second wives or the fourth wife, however you want to say it, of Jacob. And usually we don't carry these names, but he was a kibbutznik. And these kibbutznikim so often have it as their, goal and mission to reestablish equilibrium and friendships between people who are meant to live in tension and war. And now he came back in a coffin. So this Kaddish is for Oded ben Bilha, for Ariel ben Shiri veYarden, and for Kfir ben Shiri veYarden. Please rise if you're able. Page 598. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחיי חון וביום חון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהא שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה ברכו. לאלה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יש למה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו, אמן. זיכרונם לברכה, may their memories be for a blessing and for peace. Please be seated in this gentle space between grief and a very strange beginning of the month of Adar. Just imagine two angels being with you, a dark one and a light one. Page 627. Shalom Aleichem, two angels.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leshalom, Malachei Ashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni leshalom, Malachei Ashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzetzchem leshalom, Malachei Ashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
And if you're here with someone you love, or if there's just anybody in this world you love, which I hope is true for most of us here in this room, then just hold this person a little tighter to your heart. Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha, Yaher Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka, Yisa Adonai panav elecha, ve'yasem lecha shalom. May God bless you and protect you. May God's light shine upon you and on all the people you love and will love for the rest of your life. And may you and everybody you love, and even the people you don't, live in this light of peace and peacefulness till the end of their lives. Page 157. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Peace will come eventually, and maybe sooner than we fear.
Od yavo shalom aleinu, Od yavo shalom aleinu, Od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu, Od yavo shalom aleinu, Od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam shalom. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam shalom. Od yavo shalom aleinu, Odivo Shalom Aleinu, Odivo Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kulam. Odivo Shalom Aleinu, Odivo Shalom Aleinu, Odivo Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kulam.
And now I'm going to disturb you all terribly with some very profane things I'm going to say. And that is that 3 days ago, our Richard here, who is also our treasurer, said the unbelievable thing that we raised almost $1 million for the building renovation. And since then, we raised another 130,000. So we are now more than $1 million, I think, even though I am having trouble believing that. But whatever, we have until March 4th to just continue collecting money. And then on March 4th, the board is going to vote on a list of priorities, and we're going to give that back to our architects and our builders, and they're going to come hopefully up with some solution, because it's not quite the 1.5 that we needed, but it is a lot of money, so we will make some sensible adjustments, or they will make some sensible adjustments, I would think. So this is my gentle way for the first time to say, you have about a week and a half left to give us more money if you want to. But also I wanted to say just thank you, because there are also quite a number of people in this room who have already contributed in so many different ways to this very big project in this community. And so just a huge thank you to you all. And this is where we're at. Other than that, we just continue as normal with Torah study and women's group tomorrow, and Yiddish on Sunday, and Alexander Technique on Monday, and Mahjong on Tuesday, and religious school on Wednesday. Book group on Sunday, yes, that's a special thing at 5 p.m. Listen to Richard and don't listen to me. Now I'm out of track, but something's also going to happen on Thursday, I believe. And then we are back here, I think, next week for a Shabbat dinner around the table, which is a combination of a vegetarian potluck dinner and Torah study here in the synagogue. And this is all good, and normalcy continues. And maybe every now and then we can feel normal again too. And just a glimpse into the future, because we have been so incredibly successful at fundraising, we won't have a building in the summer. You do not need to worry about this at all. The plan is already in place. We will have a lot of special gatherings in people's homes, at the United Unitarians, who have a fabulous space, and sometimes in the park, especially on 4th of July, because I couldn't help myself. I know it's going to be probably also terrible, but probably also a little bit of fun, because everybody's going to be there. And we will hopefully be back in this building for the high holidays latest at the end of September. So you can all clap yourselves on the shoulder and know that this happened too, even though it's a small and maybe really profane thing. Shabbat Shalom. And there's more challah and more grape juice in this room for everybody who wants more challah and grape juice.